if you don't do this, you're going to lose 93% of all sales that you could possibly have. So what is this thing you need to do that could obviously increase your business 93%? Now, before I say it, listen to what it's about. I'll be honest, it's going to take like 5 minutes to explain what it is. And if you don't have 5 minutes, then you should probably click the next thing and watch the next cat video or whatever else you're going to watch, or Taylor Swift, whatever that is. Because this is really about increasing sales. So if you don't have 5 minutes to work on yourself, then you should probably do that. But to do this, you got to explain a little bit about psychology. So how many of you guys have ever walked into a gym or some sort of place and you were just looking? You were just curious, maybe a car lot, but you're just kind of looking around and you did not buy something the first time. Or how many of you guys have just been curious, like, man, I really want a skateboard, and you go into a skateboard shop or you go online and you're just looking around, but you don't buy the very first skateboard you see usually, or you don't buy the very first product you see. So why is that? Well, humans are pretty risk averse. We don't want to make the wrong decision. It's simple. So we try to gather as much information as we can. We try to make sure we do research. We try to make sure we get all the information we possibly can. That way we make the right choice, because we don't want to make the wrong one. And a lot of humans, most humans, I'm not generally one of them. I'm a very easy sale, but most people are not, because they just don't know. They just don't make decisions. They want it to be the right time. This is also why we're kind of getting into more of a psychology thing, why most people won't ever start a business, won't ever do what they want to do, because they're so risk averse. They're scared of taking risks, and they never learn because of it. They never get anywhere. But because most people are that way, even us as entrepreneurs that think we make the most decisions, we're generally pretty risk averse. We think things through, we research, and we try to make the right decision. So, knowing that, how crucial is it that during this process, if you're, let's say, the first skateboard shop I walk into, that you, one, educate me, but two, because you know it's my first time and I'm a newbie, you follow up with me. You take care of me. You're like, hey man, I'm checking in. Just want to see if you got a board yet. I know we talked about you really, really loved longboards. And to be honest, my favorite longboard is the bamboo one, and we actually have that here if you want to come try it out sometime. And how cool would it be if a skateboard shop did that? You were brand new and you did. I wonder, why did I use skateboard shop? I don't even skateboard. Oh well, I do want a longboard eventually. I've said that for a long time, but I haven't done it. I guess it's not that important to me. But the thing that you're going to lose 97% or 93% of your sales on, if you don't do that one thing, is following up. It doesn't matter if you're selling something that people already are wanting, asking for, or something, if you're like me, selling something that, it's a service that nobody asked you for, that you actually went in and had to create a need and then had to create them wanting it, which is definitely a lot harder in sales. Like if you're selling something somebody didn't ask for, like if you're door-to-door knocking for selling vacuums, like kudos to you. Like you're going to be an amazing salesperson if you're doing that kind of stuff. But following up is huge. And I have like 3 examples of this. I'm only going to share like 1 or 2 of just in this week. But, with my process, I generally offer free value first. We do this video. Then at each appointment, all I'm focusing on is learning about the person or the business. And then also, learning how I can help them. But 2, building trust. Like that's a really big thing. Before I ask for a sale for anything from them, or before I ask them to possibly do business with me, I always am focused on those things. In this process, most people, especially with marketing, businesses get hit up all the time. Like I've been told anywhere from 10 to 20 times a day they're getting hit up by other marketers. So how do I stand out? How do I get that business? Well, like I said, I'm building trust and I'm constantly following up. Like every meeting I have, there's a plan for another meeting to follow up with them. Then there's a plan for another meeting. Generally, there's 3 meetings before I even ask for anything. Then at that point, you're going to get to the salesy part. And this is where generally I've never had, not never, there's been a few that have said yes automatically, but that's still after like 4 appointments of me building their trust. But most of them go to a point of, I really want to think about it. I want to talk to this, I want to do that. And there's some objections you can overcome there to get past that. But a lot of times, you're just going to have to follow up. And I would recommend the best way of following up is not through text, is not through email, through doing this and not getting business those ways. I realize those are ways that are very, very easy for people to dismiss you and to just be like, I didn't get a chance, I'm really busy, I'm this, I'm that. Go in person. Yep, as nerve-wracking as it is, because what happened, I know this is how that last meeting went. They said they'd think about it and they said they'd get back to you. They didn't get back to you. So, doesn't that mean a no? And the answer to that is no. For example, had a car dealership who we had our first meeting. Actually, with this one, I only needed 2 because they were definitely more of like decision makers like me. Like they were like, hey, let's just do this, because they realize, just like I realized, if you make a decision faster, you're going to get to the end result faster, whether that's good or bad. You're going to know if you made the right or wrong decision. But contemplating in the middle, that's just a waste of time, honestly. You're losing out on results either way, even if it is the wrong decision. But we had our first meeting, educated them, had our second meeting, educated them. Then they said they'd get back to me. They never did. And I just decided to follow up. I decided to go in there and be like, hey, I know you guys were working with this other company, Dealer Spike. I talked about it in one of my other videos. And just wanted to check what's going on with that. And they're like, yeah, actually we're trying to get out of that contract right now, and hopefully by next Monday we're going to be out of it. And yeah, I think we should do something like us, like we plan on doing something with you. And I was like, great, awesome. But they had never followed up, even though they said they'd get back to me. They said to email them. So I sent them an email, I sent them a letter. I did both those things. Guess what? The only thing that got a response was going back in there. Now, I still to this day, it frustrates me a little bit that they don't respond to those. But then I'm just realizing now the only way I'm going to follow up and get business is going in person, doing something different, standing out a little bit. And yeah, so if you're not following up just because somebody ignored you, it doesn't mean a no. Because when I did follow up with them, they said yes. Like they said, let's do it. And I followed up in person. So follow up with these people. Because it's not a no. It really isn't. Like, you just got to